In today's video, we're going to talk about the Fantastic Four, which is Marvel Studios' next tentpole movie coming out in just over a month as we are now into June. So, coming out of the test screenings that they've done recently, Marvel doesn't generally public test screen anything. We've got a lot of revelations, a lot of reveals. In fact, the ending has basically been confirmed. And no, I'm not talking about the post-credit scene. I'm talking about the ending of the movie, which essentially sets up what we've seen 13 months later or so in the post-credit scene for the Marvel's Thunderbolts post-credit scene, which now does make a lot of sense. Is Marvel Studios finally in trouble after Captain America 4 lost money? $450 million, didn't even break even. The Thunderbolts, $369 million, hasn't broken even yet. They both got decimated by Lilo and Stitch in 2 weekends. That's probably going to be the biggest movie of the summer. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube voice you hear? If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the content that I try to deliver on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on and let me know. Are you excited for the Fantastic Four? Because you should be. We're getting the Fantastic Four after all. I know nobody wants Pedro Pascal to be the main character. He's not. That's Sue Storm. As soon as they cast Pedro, I was like, yeah, he's not a very big actor. So he's big in the sense that he's everywhere, but he's not actually big. So we know Sue is the leader, but we're also getting Galactus. We're getting a Silver Surfer. We're getting Mole Man. It could be a pretty cool movie. Also, if you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. We've got a channel over there where I can post stuff that I can't necessarily post on YouTube because the guidelines are very strict. Also, if you could, please follow me on TikTok. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Warstu over there. I'm going to start posting a lot more over there soon. And also check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's get into it. So, as we know, it's been heavily documented over the internet now, almost like Marvel's doing damage control, because it looks like the Fantastic Four is going to be Marvel's third bomb in a row. Now, I get it. I really liked Marvel's Thunderbolt. It was a very good movie, but financially, it flopped. Captain America 4 financially flopped. The Fantastic Four, I don't think it has a huge budget, let's be honest. I don't think it does. But it really could be another flop. And I honestly think now this is the real reason, not they need longer to work on the VFX and they need 7 months longer. I now actually understand this is the Fantastic Four movie. I know we could be getting Spider-Man 4 before that in the summer, but I still think that could be pushed back or forth. I think the real reason is Marvel does not want Fantastic Four to be the movie that sets up Doomsday. Although it technically is. So let's break it down. So as you know, anything that comes from the internet might not be true. Might be true. But the source did get some information right from Indiana Jones, the Dial of Destiny, and a bunch of other stuff. So the source could actually be true. So it reads like this. Test screening reportedly bombed, forcing Marvel to reshoot the Fantastic Four ending. Marvel decided to hold emergency reshoots to change the ending. Interesting. And this information also coincides with what someone else said, who isn't really well liked, but if their information is true, their information is true. So, female characters reportedly saved the day in the Fantastic Four ending, leaving fans feeling frustrated. So, the end of the Fantastic Four, I mean, I'm actually a fan of Vanessa Kirby. Right? I don't think Pedro Pascal is a very good actor. So I'm all for her being the leader of Fantastic Four. So it reads like this. Involves Sue Storm and the female Silver Surfer. Apparently, they are either battling or having a discussion which causes the female Silver Surfer to turn on Galactus. And it goes on to say, Grace Randolph confirms this, as she said. Even though it's a team of one woman with 3 guys, I think they are going to have a situation at the end of the movie where it's a woman who saves the day. And you're like, why can't Reed at least be involved? Well, because Pedro's, basically in this movie. I think it's so they can shoehorn him out. Interesting. You're like, come on, man. Come on. Let's see what they decide to do. So, leaked ending. Female Silver Surfer destroys Galactus and the universe. Interesting. So it says this: when she rebels against Galactus, she uses some sort of doomsday device as she pulls out some sort of cube-like object and presses it into the chest of Galactus, which not only kills Galactus, but destroys the Earth and the universe. The Fantastic Four then escape, having failed at saving anyone, not even stopping Galactus. It was the female Silver Surfer where it was told she dies. So apparently she sacrifices herself. Now, we know they did do last-minute reshoots previously in LA, allegedly to add more backstory to Julia Garner's version of the Silver Surfer, because allegedly she comes across too much as the villain. So it goes on to say MCU changes classic Galactus showdown to spotlight female characters over the men. In the comics, the real Silver Surfer, Norman Rad, turns on Galactus when Masters appeals to his humanity. Her compassion leads to him to defy Galactus and protect Earth. The Rise of the Silver Surfer movie did something similar, using Sue instead of Alicia, where Sue reminds him of his beloved Shulla. She doesn't appear until 2 years later in the comics. However, in the comics, Reed Richards stops Galactus by threatening him with the ultimate nullifier, a device capable of raising entire universes. Galactus punishes the Silver Surfer by trapping him on Earth. So we see the MCU turns things and changes everything to take away credit from the dude's surprise. So I'm not, don't get me wrong, lads, I'm not on this MCU hype. I'm just saying what this says. So it goes on to say, baby Franklin Richards reportedly has overpowered abilities not seen in the comics. We're not done there. Franklin Richards has powers in the movie. Grace Randolph dropped the bomb that not only does Franklin Richards have powers, but that he is apparently OP and has OP powers that he doesn't have in the comics. Well, Franklin Richards is OP as hell anyway. We know this. Speaking with Empire magazine, Vanessa Kirby, who plays Sue Storm, confirms this to the outlet. It's not just the adults that have superpowers. Note the title of the movie is First. The movie is basically about Galactus wanting Franklin Richards for some reason. We know he's got OP powers. So it goes on to say this, and this is Grace saying this. I don't believe Franklin has ever done what he will be asked to do in the movie. I looked it up, and apparently he theoretically could do it. So I was like, is this a new power set? So I was looking it up, and I was like, oh, it seems like he could technically do it, but never done it before in the comics. So going on to say, Randolph also mentioned that in the comics he has power to create reality. So Franklin's powers in the movie are beyond that. We do the math again. He's a newborn baby, and judging by the action figure, just a toddler. You can't even talk or walk. So we all know about the post-credit scene. Essentially, Doctor Doom is coming for Franklin Richards, which is interesting. So now you go from the Marvel's Fantastic Four post-credit scene where it looks like, Sue is reading Baby Franklin in a story, Doom turns up, and then you jump back to the Marvel's Thunderbolts post-credit scene. It is the real reason the Fantastic Four went on the ship and will arrive in the 616 with Doom is because they threatened to take Franklin, Baby Franklin. It is interesting. So there's an update in here. It says Marvel showed off a scene at CCXP Brazil described as Sue Storm goes into labor on the team spaceship where the Silver Surfer chases them, trying to capture the baby. To escape, Reed tells Ben to head into a black hole. Interesting. So, is Marvel going to do last-minute reshoots? Marvel can't really have three financial... Okay, they can. They've got billions. Like, sure, they can, right? But they don't want three financial flops in a row. Lilo and Stitch is the biggest movie of the year so far, in 2 weekends. $610 million. Yeah, I know Minecraft's technically above it, and the anime movie's way above it. But we're talking about in speed. Like, no movie this year has hit $600 million in 2 weekends. That movie will bang $1 billion. Lilo and Stitch will decimate anything that comes close to it. It really will. So, are they going in for last-minute reshoots again? Now, for some reason, the general audiences have something against a forced female agenda. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with this ending, but why? I mean, I don't like Pedro Pascal. I think he's a bad actor. But why can't Pedro Pascal be involved with taking out Galactus? And more to the point, if this is true, they don't save their universe and they have to peace. It basically confirms what the post-credit scene in the Marvel's Thunderbolts was really getting at. So it is fascinating. And like here on the Warstu channel, Warstu show, I will report what's going around because until the movie comes out, we don't know what the actual real plot leak ending actually is outside of what people say. So emergency reshoots. And is this the real reason for the Avengers Doomsday delay? I don't believe they need longer because they shot Infinity War, they shot Endgame back to back. There was only really a year post-production for both of them. Do they need a lot more time because there's a lot more extra characters? Not really, because it's not like all these characters are going to be getting 10, 15 minutes each. Are they? No, and it's not. And the Russos have said they're doing a lot more practical effects on this movie to reduce the time with VFX, to reduce the dodgy CGI VFX. So I think the real reason is Marvel doesn't know what to do. And I think they're going to be using, I mean, although Sony has a big say in the storyline, I think they're somewhat going to be using Spider-Man 4 to set up a lot of things with Doomsday. Now, you keep hearing a lot of Spider-Man 4, oh, it's grounded, oh, it's the biggest we're in a multiverse saga. There's no way to get around it. So I know we've done a bunch of Fantastic Four videos recently, but I think it's important to kind of like put information out there as it's reported. Now, I'm sorry, this is a few days behind. This was posted on May the 30th. So yeah, we are a couple of days behind, but I hadn't covered this. And if it is true, the ending does kind of suck, to be honest. And it, like I say, it could explain the Marvel's Thunderbolts post-credit scene. A lot of people said, yo, it's Doom on the ship. It could be Doom on the ship. Could be anyone on the ship. But if Doom takes Franklin, it would explain a lot to me. So what do you think about this ending? Are Marvel going to do secret reshoots again? Is the Doctor Doom scene that we actually have heard about in the test screening real? Because it's a bit weird for Marvel to do public screenings just over 6 weeks before the movie comes out. A little bit weird, lads. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, check us out on TikTok, WWarstu, and I'll catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.